Hey, how's it going YouTube? I'm your host for today, Landon Dallasing, and welcome back to a brand new video. If you guys like what we do here, hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe. We are on the road to 4 million. The question is, can we do it? So today we're going to be talking about the top 10 most famous gravestones visited, and I've actually had the unique opportunity to visit 2 of these gravestones on this list. If you guys want to check out that experience, head over to my vlogging channel. You guys know what to do. Click right over there. But enough of all that, let's get right into it. So starting off our list, and at number 10 with President JFK, on November 22nd, 1963, the 35th president was assassinated in Dallas, Texas, while riding in a presidential motorcade. This assassination shocked the entire world. The president was expected to be buried at the Kennedy family plot in Massachusetts, but his wife said he belongs to the people, so he is going to be buried at the Arlington National Cemetery, where people are free to visit his gravesite. There is actually an internal flame at his grave that has been burning since his burial in 1963. That's pretty interesting. Next up, number 9, we have Johnny Cash. The man dressed in black passed away on September 12, 2003 from diabetes, and he was buried next to his wife June Carter Cash at the Hendersonville Memorial Gardens in Tennessee. Their gravestones are marked by a simple tombstone that lists their last names along with the phrases "I walk the line" and "Wildwood Flower." This famous gravesite draws a steady number of mourners who travel to the hills of Tennessee to pay their respect. Bruce Lee punches into number 8. Bruce Lee and his son Brandon Lee are buried side by side at the Lakeview Cemetery in Seattle, Washington. This kung fu master unexpectedly died at the age of 32 years old from swelling in the brain caused by an allergic reaction to painkillers. It's insane. Since his death in 1973, thousands of visitors visit his grave every single year, and because of this, shrubs were planted around his grave to prevent visitors from trampling on the other grave sites in the cemetery. Our Frank Sinatra makes its way into number 7. This legendary singer died on March 14, 1998 from a fatal heart attack, and he is now buried in Desert Memorial Park in Palm Springs, California. He was buried with a bottle of Jack Daniels and a pack of Camel cigarettes, and the lyrics "The best is yet to come" is engraved onto his tombstone. Next up, number 6, we have Jim Morrison. This rock legend unfortunately died in Paris on July 3rd, 1971 of heart failure. Every day, hordes of tourists visit his gravestone. It's covered by graffiti from his crazy fans. Cemetery staff attempted to clean the graffiti, and now they've replaced the metal barricades around it just to protect it. Now at number 5 is Princess Diana's grave. The Princess of Wales died in August 1997 as a result of the injuries that was sustained in a car crash in Paris. She is buried at the Spencer family estate in North Hampshire on Round Oval Island. Once a year between July and September, visitors are given the opportunity to visit her grave, although no one is allowed to set foot on the island. From the edge of the lake, you can see an urn, but no headstone or gravesite. Shakespeare makes his debut at number 4. He is without a doubt the most famous English language writer in history. Shakespeare lived from 1564 to 1616, and even till this day, thousands of people visit his gravesite every single year to pay their respects. His tomb is located in Starford upon Avon in Warwickshire, England, at the Holy Trinity Churchyard. His grave is famously for having a curse engraved onto his gravestone, which Shakespeare wrote himself. It reads, "Good friend, for Jesus' sake, forbear to dig the dust enclosed here. Blessed be the man that spares these stones, and cursed be he that moves my bones." I actually visited his gravestone, and reading those words actually gave me the chills. And fun fact for you guys, Danny's hometown is like 20-30 minutes away from Shakespeare's gravestone. Marilyn Monroe comes on this list, number 3. The world was stunned when they heard the news that Marilyn Monroe had died from an overdose in 1962. She was the iconic sex symbol in the 60s, but her final resting place was intended to be modest and private. However, because of her popularity, thousands of visitors are drawn to her grave. Actually, Hugh Hefner is buried beside her, and that's because he bought the site back in 1992 for $75,000, so he could spend an eternity beside Playboy's first playmate. In at number 2 spot, we have the king of pop. We're talking about Michael Jackson. He was buried in Holy Terrace section of the Great Mausoleum in Forest Lawn Cemetery in Glendale, California back in July of 2009. This is actually a famous final resting place for many other Hollywood celebrities, celebrities, and it attracts well over 1 million visitors every single year. However, the area that Michael Jackson is in is a private section, and it is closed off to the public, but thousands of people come every day. They leave flowers outside of the mausoleum. The king of rock and roll makes its way into #1 spot. Elvis Presley is an absolute legend who paved the way for other musicians. He died of a prescription drug overdose in August 1977. He was first buried in a mausoleum in Forest Hill Cemetery in Memphis, Tennessee, but his body was later moved to Graceland because vandals and thieves tried to steal his remains. Although he's been dead for 4 decades, 600,000 people every single year still visit him. So if you buy a ticket to Graceland, his grave is a part of the Graceland tour, and I can tell you from a personal experience, the tour is well worth the money. I got to see the home that he grew up in, I got to see the home that he died in, I got to see his grave. It was a fascinating experience. I gave my tributes to him. Well, there you guys have it. That is the end of this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys all in the next one.